This is a Godzilla found footage film created by Utopia Films. As the payload in the description would be called Project Monsters. This will be episode 1, The Griffin. UNGCC, United Nations Godzilla Countermeasure Center. Warning. The body has been edited to contain viewing pressure. The Griffin. New York. Okay.
Subject 25, classified by scientists as the Griffin, originated from a meteor that landed in Utah in November of 1994.
That is alien.
Although the meteor was recovered, an alien organism escaped and went undiscovered for 3 days as it traveled to feed on animals in the form of a bat-like colony.
How did that
In Kentucky, the colony settled in a forest where it's believed they formed into one singular mass. The Griffin, which slowly started to take on a definitive form, made its way toward New York. Not long after, another predator began making its way to the same location that early readings first thought was Godzilla.
Doesn't look like a Godzilla. My boy, Zilla! A fucking weapon, you bitch! Oh, look at him go! Damn! Yeet! Stop! Another laser beam. There's the big man! Titanic Utopia! And a cut concept.
The incredible view here as Godzilla is pushing the creature forward.
Shut the fuck up, bitch! I didn't want to fight! Damn! Even though I took a perspective, you see how the tail went. Shit! Damn! Ooh! That was not good. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck back! Back! Thanks, yeah! Yeah! Drop him! Gang him up! Look at that limit that little guy! Yeah! Oh, get hard! Get down on me! Yeah! Fire blast or atomic blast! Big struggle! Damn! Get the fuck back! Oh look! Another demon! Good job, man. Get the fuck out of here. Damn! Nice dropping the train, asshole. Event analysis. Flight level 4, success evaluation 64%, destruction 34.6%, casualty over 495,000. Damn. That was the Griffin. Yep, all blown. Rifle owner has Project Monster.
This is the blast of the hydrogen bomb, which has inaugurated a new and menacing era in the history of man. Monsters. But where did this all truly begin? Some point to the age of dinosaurs. Others point to Godzilla, the first major encounter between mankind and the monsters. Hello, I'm Gene Maldonado,
Hi, Gene Maldonado.
and I'm going to be your guide through this strange new world we face ahead. This is Living with Monsters. Monsters, or as scientists have labeled them, superfauna, have been a common part of our world for nearly 7 years now. 17 attacks on populated land. Currently, there are 5 active species of superfauna classified as a threat to mankind. That would include Godzilla, Anguirus, Canura,
Tabula.
Gorgo,
Gogo.
and finally, Manda. But where did they come from? Sightings of monsters have been recorded since the beginning of man. Ancient artifacts depict strange, weird creatures associated with death. But the world was first introduced to monsters in the motion picture phenomenon King Kong.
Prepare for a voyage to an island of death, a land of terror and danger. A prehistoric world alive today.
Go fuck with the goal! Go fuck with you! He hugged you! Talk fast! Bam! Get shot, idiot!
See the battle of the Titans.
Bam! Yeah! Boom! Bam! Punch him! Yeah! Yeah!
Wild, weird, wonderful. Stuff for which movies are made.
King Kong attracted viewers from around the world. At the premiere, Carl Denham showcased 2 native creatures from the island as proof.
Oh, what the fuck, Cole?
The public was stunned by the documentary film.
You don't get that done.
There would be no new developments in the field of superfauna until 4 years later, when the hydrogen bomb testing continued in the Bikini Atoll. While the tests were successful, no one could have prepared for what came next. Washed ashore in a small Japanese village was a gargantuan reptile. Gojira, or Godzilla, as he's called in the West, is a dinosaur-like species believed to be hidden in the Pacific for millions of years, until the hydrogen bomb testing brought it to the surface. Scientists classified the creature as a member of the superfauna ecosystem, a group of extremely large animal species. Small fishing villages in Japan had already been aware of the creatures for centuries, but kept it a secret from the outside world.
Yeah, because you guys are fucking nosy.
The most extreme of these called themselves Kaiju Kai, a cult that not only believed the monsters to be deities, but would occasionally sacrifice their own members to the sea as a peace offering.
Good.
A few days later, after the corpse washed ashore, another Godzilla sunk 2 ships near Tokyo Bay and began its path of destruction towards the city. Preparations were set as Tokyo braced for the creature's landfall. They developed the anti-Godzilla wall that would surround the coastline and deter the creature with high voltages of electricity.
Oh, I mean, they came prepared.
Unfortunately, initial reports had miscalculated the size of the creature, assuming it to be that of a similar mass of the one that washed ashore.
Get fucked. Oh god, there's more terrifying people to go. Oh god.
The rage. The fury. It was unlike anything our world had ever felt. No conventional weaponry stopped the monster. Professor Kyoe Yamane theorized that what washed ashore was an infant of the species, and what Tokyo had faced was in fact the parent. He also believed that the city life may have been provoking to Godzilla. That theory would be put to the test as Godzilla returned later that week. A citywide shutdown was enacted, resulting in Godzilla appearing to have no interest. The United Nations held an emergency meeting. The images of Godzilla's power and devastation shocked the panel of leaders.
What? People are talking terrified of a
The
giant
hydrogen bomb became a topic of discussion on how to eliminate Godzilla. The UN launched a joint mission between countries, codenamed Operation Kismet. Its existence, a secret. The plan was to lure Godzilla into a specified area when he would be eliminated by the H-bomb.
General quarters. All hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Z-bit throughout the ship. Make Z report to DC Center.
God damn, man. What are they doing him that day?
While deemed an initial success, Operation Kismet was only a temporary fix. Shockingly, reports of another giant creature came in from Okinawa.
The boy!
Named Anguirus. Not much was known about this horned behemoth, but it was moving towards Japan, and it was moving fast. It was unclear why until news came from Tokyo. Godzilla was still alive.
Yeah.
緊急事態です。大阪市民は自治に避難してください。ゴジラとアンギラスが4時間後に上陸する。
Pace up, that's everyone! Go up in a castle! Godzilla's going up, but they need shit! Get tail shot, bitch! Yeah,
Anguirus burrowed underground, deeming the territory Godzilla's. It traveled to New Zealand, where it has since been a constant threat to the island's inhabitants.
Yeah, no shit.
News of the battle shocked the world. Hope for normalcy was a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Mankind had to now accept the possibility that we were no longer in control. The great food chain had altered once again. The battle between Godzilla and Anguirus provided information on the superfauna we were unable to obtain by any other means. For example, various body parts of the creatures, including fins, teeth, and small appendages, were found throughout the wreckage. Experts also noted certain physical abilities that pointed towards evolutionary adaptation, such as Anguirus' natural ability to shield itself from Godzilla's atomic breath. Meaning, these species have evolved to battle each other throughout time. The Battle of Osaka was just the beginning. In Chile, the Chaitin volcano erupted. An ancient species of dragonfly awakened from hibernation and fed on several small villages before being sealed in an abandoned mine. Volcanologists still believe something larger may be within the volcano as well.
No.
Weeks later, in Hawaii, a large species of crab attacked Waikiki. Local legend called the creature Canura.
God damn my home!
Cargo ships found entering the area to be impossible. Then, off the coast of Ireland, on the small island of Nara, sightings of a deep-sea dinosaur, later named Gorka. A mostly isolated monster who only appears to be aggressive when attacked by fishermen or the local military.
Yeah!
Then finally, China. The giant serpent manda hunts for food in the mountains.
Manda! I had Spinosaurus War.
Professor Yamane theorized that further nuclear weapon use may have awoken these superfauna, who otherwise may have remained dormant. Species who had never lived together before suddenly had to compete over resources and territory. As noted by Canura's home of Hawaii being within Godzilla's space, the conflicts have been numerous.
Yum! Take out the girl production!
Similarly, Manda has been a constant rival where their territories collide in Hong Kong. The arrival of the superfauna have had its positive impacts as well. Fewer times in history have we seen mankind as united as it is today. Resources from around the world are brought together to face this new threat.
For what? But what do you guys get each
The
other?
radiation produced in the wake of these attacks has also been shown to vastly improve the fertility of soil, resulting in superfoods. While inedible currently, scientists believe that within a few years we'll be able to harvest and assist in the global hunger issue.
Oh.
The United Nations has begun its process of crafting the Godzilla Counterattack Center, a world coalition group with a singular goal of researching how to destroy Godzilla and other similar threats. They've begun fast-set work in developing resources and strategies to reduce casualties from these attacks, as well as create a universal system for detecting and monitoring superfauna activity. Currently, scientists are converging on Skull Island to conduct field research. They believe the secrets to the superfauna may lie within this prehistoric world. As humanity bands together in these dark times, we become closer and closer to a day of peace. That will conclude today's program. This is Gene Maldonado, inviting you to be with us again soon for another look at living with monsters.
Watch it, man. Get the boy, Glenn! There must be like a lasagna there. What? UNGCC.
June 14th, 1989. It's a warm, clear Saturday in Florida when tragedy strikes. A shelter is flooded by highly radioactive material. Over the course of a year, poor management and negligence leads to thousands of deaths and the creation of a monster unlike anything our world has known. The Florida Everglades, days before the Shelter 54 incident. The genetic engineering company BioMajor has a pipe burst underneath their facility. The contamination reaches parts of the Everglades and causes a mutation in a small mosquito population, causing them to grow to extraordinary size. Dr. Nico Tatopoulos first observed the mosquitoes while monitoring the activity of Subject 17 in Mexico. His research team followed the swarm to the sites of several other superfauna as they fed. They named the invasive species of mosquito Skeetura. The Skeetura swarm returned to Florida, where it attracted the attention of Subject 16. This is when the Shelter 54 incident began. Shelter 54 was a Class C anti-superfauna shelter developed in the late 1960s. Like most coastal shelters, it featured an underground hydroponic system in case of extended stay. Being a Class C shelter, its contamination protocols required manual operation. Civilians were taking cover in Shelter 54 when Subject 16 landed a fatal blow on the large female Skeetera. Anthony Harris and Stephen Kessler were the UNGCC operators of Shelter 54 at the time of the incident. Stephen Kessler was speaking to a group in the shelter common room. Anthony Harris was at the main entrance helping the remaining civilians enter. After Skeetera was crushed, her internal organs and collected blood rushed down into Shelter 54. The entrance was flooded with over 200,000 gallons of radioactive fluid. Stephen ran from the main room to investigate the noise when he was drowned. Stephen never secured the main door. The following phone call is the last known communication from Shelter 54. To the intense radioactivity, Shelter 54 wasn't properly explored until 5 days later. It was considered a complete loss of life.
The shelter corridor is completely flooded with organic tissue. The smell is horrible. Plant-like in nature. I'm getting a massive radiation reading from inside. My God. This is impossible.
In the main chamber, a massive botanical growth had taken over the room. The victims inside had not just been consumed by the organism, but were a part of it, as were the plants from hydroponic storage. The hybrid organism, at this time referred to as Subject 19, was hidden from the public. After being extracted, Subject 19 was transported to a UNGCC lab near Yokohama, Japan. Research on the organism was led by Dr. Akira Shiragami, whose superfood research was slowly helping regrow the world after the smog attacks of the 1970s. Subject 19 was contained in a water tank with artificial sunlight. Dr. Shiragami estimated as many as 15 victims were being kept alive within the deep tissue of the mass. Medical extraction was ruled out when it was discovered the victims had been anatomically rearranged and conjoined together. The only victim that scientists were able to make contact with was 17-year-old Erica Johnson, who had not yet been fully merged. using infrared machines that function based on eye and muscle movements, Dr. Shiragami was able to communicate with her.
This is initial communication test with subject 19. Hello. Can you hear me? Am I speaking with Erica? Yeah. Good. My name is Dr. Shiragami. I'm a scientist here to help you with your condition. Can you see your surroundings? Smell? Feel? Anything? I see life. Are you in pain, Erica? Yes. We all hurt. You're able to feel the others? I am. Everyone. Despite the efforts of myself and my team, I believe the mutation has become unstable. For the sake of the victims, this may be a blessing. But why do I feel so conflicted? I thought the world could never recover after the smog attacks. But now in my possession is the solution. I've spent my career strongly opposing the use of Godzilla DNA. But it may be my only option.
On October 22nd, Dr. Shiragami began transfusing the organism with Godzilla cells for their regeneration property, G1. Subject 19 had taken on the form of a rose and grew beyond expectations.
Erica, are you there? Yeah. I've noticed you've begun responding less and less. Is something wrong? Something bad inside. Please. What? Please. I'm sorry, Erica. Unfortunately, you must remain under observation a little longer. Kill me.
Dr. Shiragami reported that in the days following the incident, Erica had fully merged with the rest of Subject 19 and was unable to be contacted further. Colleagues noted that after this, Dr. Shiragami withdrew himself from social contact and dismissed his assistants for the holiday break.
My request to euthanize this thing has been denied by my superiors. I know what I must do. I've locked down the lab. No one is getting in.
On the night of November 29th, Dr. Shiragami tampered with the container controls to electrocute Subject 19. An industrial flamethrower was reported missing during an inventory check. When security confronted Dr. Shiragami outside the examination room, he revealed the weapon.
Doctor, put the weapon down.
Doesn't need to be a situation.
This is your final warning.
Just wait until the process is done.
Put the weapon on the ground and move away from the door. Hold your fire.
Tango down. What the hell was that?
Elimination. Run, go.
Subject 19 had begun growing exponentially and escaped underground, taking the facility with it and killing 112 in the process. citizens of Yokohama awoke the next morning to the startling sight of Subject 19's new form. The Japanese government ordered for Subject 19 to be destroyed to stop its roots from expanding further into the city. Scientists that previously had worked on Subject 19 cooperated to create a plan of attack. After the flowers collapse, aerial photography revealed that not only was Subject 19 still alive, but mutating. This time, Subject 19 took on a Godzilla-like form as it became mobile. The UNGCC debuted the MBT-92 Maser Cannon, the newest arsenal in fighting superfauna threats. Rare instance, Godzilla's immediate reaction was curiosity instead of aggression. With Godzilla trapped, Subject 19 began absorbing G cells to further mutate itself. Military units organized in the Aokigahara forest to reroute Godzilla back to the ocean. radar showed a large mass moving in on his location. The toxic blast released by Subject 19 seemed to have a paralyzing effect on Godzilla. He was unconscious for 4 days before returning to the sea. He was inactive after this event for 3 months. In the end, thousands died or were seriously injured. Yokohama had transformed forever. Today, Subject 19, now officially named Biollante, has taken control over parts of the Okigahara forest. Although generally peaceful now, Biollante's presence has attracted several other superfauna that sometimes become aggressive when she's threatened. Due to this incident, the use of G-cells has been made illegal in all experimental research. Additionally, most sea-level shelters have been updated appropriately for automatic decontamination protocols. What can we learn from this incident? Simple mistakes can have deadly consequences. Whether you're operating a shelter during a crisis or notice a colleague not doing well, always refer to the safety protocols provided by the UNGCC and speak with a supervisor. The victims of Shelter 54 live on in Biollante, never able to live, never able to die. Forever a dark reminder of our mistakes.
trovato.
Oh! Cloverfield! Ducking out into the universe! Well, that was a one, I imagine. Yeah! That's Cloverfield! So Takaraga is part of the universe. That means they know something. Or one of the main organizations. Well, that was interesting. That was the Godzilla found footage by Lost Utopia Films. A huge one to take in. Even the responsibility and arrogance of man. And the super faunas. Along with the monsters that we will see in the future. That was one of the Godzilla Animal Horror series. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!